Do you agree with paying a tax or levy on carbon emissions?
I have mixed feelings on that, to be honest with you. I have a husband, he used to be with oil and gas, and I don't know if Canada is where we need to point the finger. I think it's we need to look at other places where there's a way bigger impact with carbon emissions, China and these places. So I don't know about that here.
Yes, I do, yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, look around you. It's global warming, it's everything else. I'm involved in the oil industry, and I still agree with it. You know, it's for the better of everybody. You know, that's my opinion.
Climate change is a very real problem, and if COVID is bad, climate change is as bad or worse, and is affecting the people who deserve it least. So I think this carbon tax, I'm not afraid of the word tax. I think tax is not a bad word. I think we need to have everybody gives a little bit so that everybody can be, so the world can be saved.
I would agree with it a little, yeah. You know, for those who are taking advantage of it, for sure.
Yes. Why? Because that seems to be what's going to work to actually decrease the carbon emissions is what we need in the long term.
From what I can gather, I think it worked pretty well in some Scandinavian countries. I might be wrong about that, but I think it worked in terms of like you tax, as Trudeau would say, you tax pollution, and then some of those tax dollars you put into other types of green energy. So I think it can work. I think a lot of people say that it can't work and it doesn't work, but I think that's misguided. But I might be wrong.
Well, someone got to pay for it. You know, regardless, yes, you've got to have tax. I mean, that's life.
On carbon emissions, though?
Well, on carbon, I mean, so you got to have that, right? I mean, people are going to speak out about that. So what can we do? The gas is going up, it's going down, and you know, it's society. That's the way things work.
Yes, it makes sense. It's using sort of basics of consumerism, capitalism, market economy to achieve that goal. You know, otherwise you just sort of it uses those things that are already in place. You know, people will pay more for gas because of carbon, but if they reduce the burning of carbon, it'll cost less. So people are incentivized to find ways to produce less carbon emissions.
Absolutely no, I disagree with that 100%.
Why?
Well, since when? So how is a tax going to help climate change? How is that going to help? So you're telling me if I pay taxes, it's going to make the weather better? We're not going to. I think that's the stupidest thing. It's just a tax grab. There's a lot better ways to, you know, reduce our carbon footprint than taxing the public. It's like, I think that's the stupidest thing. That's just a money grab. I don't, you know, I believe in, you know, like, let's save our environment, but how is you, me, and him giving you each $50, how is that going to help? It's not going to help anything except line the pockets of the politicians.
No, don't agree with that at all. No. I mean, we need fuel of some kind. We're not very advanced into electronics all the way, so we do need it. We don't need a tax.
Yes, I do. I think it's beneficial. I really do. I think that's fine. It doesn't bother me at all personally. It does not.
Yeah, it's gonna be yes, because if you look at the trend of things over the years, it has shown that carbon emission is one of the reasons for, you know, floodings, changing, you know, weather. And we've had some natural disasters that has happened that has not been happening before. So if the scientists are saying we need to start taking carbon emissions seriously, these are experts in those fields. So we need to start taking it seriously. So if the government is saying they're trying to levy, you know, put a fine and all that around carbon emission, I think it's just for the common good of everyone.
I don't know if I'm knowledgeable enough to answer that. I don't know enough about it, really. It seems to change, you know, that information seems to change from one month to the next. You know, last year we were getting a rebate for tax, and this year, you know, nothing. And so I don't really know what it means to me. You know, so I guess more communication would probably be, desirable for me to make a better, decision as to whether or not that's fair. I just don't know enough about it.